Okay, ratios and proportions. X over 7 equals 3 over 5. All you have to do is solve for x is simply take 7 times 3, which is 21, and then divide by 5, and that equals 4.2. Okay, our next problem, that's not going to work. You got to do the A, the B, the C, and the D. Okay. So then we got to make our equation with our 2 parentheses on each side. Okay, so we have is x plus 7. That's A. So x plus 7. Okay. And then B we're going to go with, or sorry, x plus 2. X plus 2. Okay, that's a 2. X plus 2. Then B is 7. Okay. Now C, 2x minus 11, so 2x plus negative 11, okay, it's plus negative, and then I've got 5. Okay, so then we better get some rainbows going. I got to cover that with a 1, so 7 times 2 and 7 times 1x, and then 5 times negative 11 and 5 times 2x, okay. So I got 1x times 7, that's going to be 7x. And 7 times 2 is 14. Okay. Over here, 5 times 2x is 10x. 5 times negative 11 is negative 55. Okay. So what do we have for x's? I've got 2 of them. They're on opposite sides of the equation, so I need to subtract 7x and subtract 7x. So I've got 14. And then 10 minus 7 is 3x. Plus negative 55. Okay, so I got 3x. I need to add the 55, so plus 55, plus 55. Okay, so let me go over here for my equation. I've got 69. Then over on the other side, I've got 3 times x. Okay, so I divide by 3, divide by 3. 69 divided by 3 gives me 23, so x equals 23. Okay, percent sentences. We're going to go percent over 100%, and then the is over of. Okay. Okay, so 160%, and then after of it says what, so x is of, and then the 200's the is. Okay, so then I cross multiply 200 times 100 and then divide by 160, and that ends up giving me the answer I'm looking for, which is 125. It's like asking on a test, you got 160%, you got 200 points, there must have been 125 possible. You had some extra credit. 63% of 150, okay. Okay, so my percent is 63, and then of, and then 150, and then x. So I multiply and divide. When you multiply and divide, you should get 94.5. Okay. Next, what percent of 48 is 20? Okay, so percent, 100%, and then the is and the of. Okay. So percent I don't have, so that's x, and then I take, it says of 48, so 48, and then 20, okay? So I multiply and divide, I take 20 times 100 on the calculator, I got 2,000, then I divide that answer by 48, and I get 41.6 repeating, so x equals 41.6 repeating, okay? Okay, similar triangles. We got to use proportions to solve these. 6 is to x what 25 is to 10. Okay, so I'll be cross multiplying and dividing. So 6 times 10 is 60. And then 60 divided by 25 is going to be, I don't know, calculate that, 2.4. Okay, so 2.4. Okay, convert 2 feet to centimeters, and that needs to be 2 inches. Get that out of there, so let's put inches. Okay. And it says over here that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. So I use my ratios, okay? And I use the fact that 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters, okay? And then I want to put the same labels the same way, inches and centimeters, okay? All right, so it's 2 inches, so we put 2 and then X, okay? So I take 2.54 times 2, I got 5.08, and then divide by 1 is still 5.08, okay? Okay, now let's get into the good stuff. Someone can chop down down 3 trees in 5 hours. How many trees can they chop in 15 hours of work? Okay, and down here, trees is my answer. Okay, so the units I have underlined for us are hours, or trees and hours. Trees, hours. So trees and hours. Okay, the hours should be X, the trees should be Y. Okay, then let's get a per going here, and that is trees per hour, okay? Trees per hour. Now, I don't know the trees per hour. It just says we did 3 in 5 hours, so I'm going to put the question mark. Now, what I got to decide if a line would be the smart thing to do. Note between the 2 units. No, it's direct variation, so no, okay? So I come down here. So if it's no, we're going to use these ratios to solve it. Okay, so I put the hours on bottom, so hours goes on the bottom. And then trees go on top. Okay, so when I read this problem, I know we did 3 trees in 5 hours. So 3 trees, 5 hours. Okay, and I know we had 15 hours of work, so 15. And then the trees is X, okay? So I can just multiply and divide. 3 times 15 is 45, and then divide by 5 equals 9, okay? So 9 trees. Okay, next page. 2 people are working together to rake leaves. 1 person can fill 3 trash cans, supposed to say trash cans, in 20 minutes. Another person can fill 1 trash can in 10 minutes. How many minutes will it take the people to fill 20 trash cans working together? So I am finding the number of minutes, okay? So when I'm working this problem, we have minutes and cans. I have the units you should be using underlined. So that's X, that's Y. So let's talk about a per, be cans per minute. Okay, now it never tells me the cans per minute, so I'm going to put question mark. Okay. Now, would it be smart to make the line and mess around with that? No, because it's dV, so no. No line is necessary, okay? Now, you see, I'm going to need 3 ratios because I got 1 person plus another person equals what they can do together, okay? So we need minutes, and that's a plus sign. So the time goes on bottom. By the way, don't put total on these. The totals are for percents and fractions. And then cans. Okay, so this dude here, he can do 3 cans in 20 minutes. So 3 20ths. Okay. This other guy can do 1 can in 10 minutes. So 1 over 10. Now, when they work together, they need to do 20 trash cans, so we're going to put 20 cans in X minutes, okay? Now, I need to add these, okay? I want to get it down to 2, so I take 3/20ths. Remember, it's ABC, okay? Plus 1/10. Okay, that gives me 1/4. So we're going to do, together they can do 1 can in 4 minutes, and I've still got 20 over X. So I take 4 times 20, that's 80, divided by 1 is still 80. So 80 minutes. Okay, now what we get is some percents and fractions, okay? An item is 40% off its original price of $60. That's before they took the percent off. Find the new price. Okay, so with this word here, we can use an arrow to set up this, okay? 100%. And then I'd minus 40, and that takes me to 60%. Okay, now it says $60 is before, okay? So that goes with the 100. 100's always before. Okay, so I'm ready to rock and roll. I know we got 60 over 100, or it doesn't really matter. I always like to put my 100 on the bottom. And we can see that 60 needs to be on the same side as 100, so $60 goes here, okay, and X. So I multiply 60 times 60, that's going to be 3,600. And then I divide that by 100, and that's 36. So X equals 36. Okay, next problem. 30% of the students in school attended the college fair. If there were 120 students who attended the college fair, how many students are there in this school? Okay, now I don't have a word I'm not going to do an arrow because I don't have a word circle that's going to help me with that. So I just go to my ratios and we put 100%, and we'll just use the 30%. Okay, just use that 30. Now, to know where that 120 goes, you got to define what these are. What did the 30 do? They attended the college fair. So attended the fair, and that's your total, okay? Over here it's the same thing, attended total. Now, did it say 120 attended? Okay, yeah, it does, so that needs to go on top. That's X, okay? So I take 120 times 100, that's going to be 12,000. I divide that by 30, and that's going to be 400. So X equals 400. Or did I screw that up? No, I did it right. Okay. 7/8 of the crops were ready for harvest season. We had 96 crops. How many were ready for harvest? Okay, so we got 7 over 8. Now you got to define what this means. The 7/8 were ready for harvest. So ready and total. Ready and total. Okay. So does it say the 96 were ready? No. Okay. Clearly it does not say they're ready.